would now request Shri Manpreet Singh Badal, Honorable Finance Minister, Government of Punjab, to address the session, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My fellow ministers from Assam, Delhi, His Excellency, the Ambassador of India, His Excellency, the Consul General of India, dignitaries from the UAE. It's my proud privilege and great pleasure to be here at the second edition of the India-UAE Business Summit. For most of you who do not know me, I am a historian by inclination, I am a lawyer by training, and I am a politician by profession. I must confess, I don't have very deep insights to any of these fields. When I was a very young boy, growing up deep in rural Punjab, my great ambition was to actually, and which was the most popular thing in Punjab, was to actually join the Indian Army as an officer. Unfortunately, I was born in 1962, and we had a great war with China in 1962. Then there was a war in 1965. Then there was a war in 1971. And my mother thought that, like elections, war is repeated every 5 years. And she would not let me sit for this defense exam, and she just went hysterical. So when I could not join the Indian Army as an officer, then I decided that I'll become a doctor, because that was the next honorable thing in India to do. But then I was told that the subjects which you have, you don't have science subjects, so you can't become a doctor. So when the military shut its door on me, when medicine shut its door on me, then I decided that I will run this nation. And that's what I've been doing for the last 25 years now. Punjab, a state which I have the unique honor to represent, it's played actually a unique role in the history of the Indian subcontinent. And it's a role which is completely disproportionate to our size and population. Over the centuries, Punjab has sent, and because we've had the privilege of guarding India's fine and ancient civilization for thousands of years. And over the centuries, we have sent some of our finest sons in the face of great danger to defend the dignity and honor of India. And all Punjab has ever asked in return is enough land to bury those sons who did not come back. So while I stand in front of you this morning, there is an acute sense of embarrassment that while we freed ourselves from British rule almost 70 years ago, and it was not easy. It was with a lot of physical pain of British bullets and batons. There must have been thousands and thousands of young men who must have left their beautiful wives and happy homes and smiling children, because the dreams were that one day people of India will live a prosperous life, a life of dignity, a cultured life. As I stand before you, I must confess there's an acute sense of embarrassment that those dreams have not been fulfilled. So why is Punjab here this morning in front of you, ladies and gentlemen, is because soon after independence, we realized that food security is as important as national security. You cannot be waiting for American food aid, waiting on the seashore. And we decided that Punjab is going to be the breadbasket of India. So while we form only 1.53%, 1.5% of India's landmass, we still produce 40% of India's cereal crops, which is wheat and rice. So, but having said all those gloomy things, I must confess that these are very exciting times to be an Indian and very exciting times to be a politician. You know, you could have been an Indian from 1950 to 1990. India's GDP was growing at 3.5%. Our population was growing at 2.5%. So effectively, India was only growing at 1%. But early 90s, India adopted economic reforms, and our GDP growth started clocking 9%, 10%, 8% consistently for the next 28 years. You know, people like me have started dreaming dreams which my grandfather's generation could never dream of, which my father's generation could never have dreamt of. And that dream is that one day, India will join the community of nations as an honorable member. And today, India's total exports, I'm subject to correction, are about just about $400 billion. And out of those $400 billion, over $100 billion are just IT exports. Young people, very young boys and girls sitting in back offices of India, doing IT work. And it is because of them that, as I said, people like me have started dreaming dreams. So I would actually, I'm reminded of the great Prime Minister of England, Winston Churchill, who during the Battle of Britain, where the Royal Air Force, where the attrition rate, I mean, once you were trained as a pilot, these were very young children who, when they joined the Air Force, the average age in the Air Force was about 2 weeks. And even he was moved in a public speech where he said, never in the history of mankind has so much been owed by so many to so few. So I think when the history of the Indian nation is written, it is going to be these young boys and girls, these young who have actually given us almost a quarter of our exports. So as far as Punjab is concerned, as I said, for 70 years, Punjab has been the breadbasket of India, the agricultural powerhouse of India. But now we realize that the green revolution must move east. The real food bowl of India is not going to be Punjab. It's going to be Uttar Pradesh, it's going to be Madhya Pradesh, it's going to be Bengal, Odisha, Bihar. And Punjab must diversify its economy to try and get a service-based industry, to try and get to upgrade its infrastructure. We want to be actually relieved of our duty to grow food grains. So I will not discuss at length what advantages Punjab is going to offer. This is the first time in 70 years that you have seen Punjab. You know, we have never ever mounted a serious public relation exercise trying to showcase Punjab as an investment destination. Very few people would know that 80% of India's bicycles are produced in Punjab. 70% of India's tractors are produced in Punjab. Punjab is the largest producer of honey in India, largest producer of potatoes in India. Punjab, and even though it's such a small state, and I think if because I'm going to give a very detailed I know we are running late, so I don't want to take too much of your time. So we are going to, at tomorrow's session, Punjab is actually going to make a very detailed presentation of what would be an advantage if an investor wants to come to Punjab. We are from different states, but Punjab offers certain advantages. But if I could just briefly mention one advantage which Punjab offers is the quality of labor in Punjab. In the last 70 years, you'll have to believe me, we've never had an industrial lockout even for one day. There's never been a labor problem in Punjab. And there are German companies like Class Combines. There is the Govt company which produces pistons and rings. And this is subject to verification. You can actually go and ask them, and they will verify that the productivity of a Punjabi labor is as high as a German labor. There is no difference in as far as productivity is concerned. So I'm not going to take too much of your time, but we are the only state, it's the character, it's not the geography or the topography which actually defines a nation. It's the character of the people which defines a nation. And we are the only, not only independent struggle, but India's food security, India's national security. We are the only state in India, in the world, which beat off international terrorism. India was short of food grains, we produced the food grains. Now people tell us that India needs an industrial base. So we are going to get India industrial base, whatever it takes, willingly if possible, but kicking and screaming if required. Whatever it takes, before I die, and I hope I have another 10 years to live, I would see India as the next superpower in the world. And why we have come to the UAE, because UAE is a beacon of light for Asian nations which have developed. And UAE and India are both opportunities for each other. It's the Arab Emirates, it's an opportunity for India, and Indian markets are opportunities for Emirati companies and businesses. And I'm reminded of the hauntingly beautiful words of one of the greatest poets of India, Sir Muhammad Iqbal. And I quote in original, where he says, "Husne tadbir se jaag uthta hai, qaumo ka naseeb." Husn is beautiful, tadbir is planning. By good planning, like in the UAE, the fate of nations can be changed. He says, "Husne tadbir se jaag uthta hai, qaumo ka naseeb, kabhi badalti nahi takdeer armanon se." It's not, by talking you will not be able to change, it's only by good planning. And as I said, Punjab is ready for business. Punjab is ready to roll out the red carpet, and we are ready to diversify our economy. There is a certain sense of urgency in Punjab's pitch today that we are trying to diversify our economy from food grains to industry. And I am reminded of the beautiful words of one of the greatest presidents of the United States of America, John F. Kennedy. And this is his inaugural address, where he, and most people remember his address, but the words which I liked was when he said, "Every generation of Americans has had to give testimony of their loyalty to America and freedom. The world is surrounded with the graves of young men who answered that call. But very few generations have had the honor of defending America in its hour of maximum danger." And the words which I think one could write with blood, he said, "I will not shirk my responsibility. And my generation is not willing to exchange places with any other generation." So ladies and gentlemen, we are the make or break generation for India. Either India will make it within my lifetime, or we may miss the bus. And we are not willing to exchange places with any other generation. So thank you, and I want to thank my host, and especially the Emirati government for hosting us, for your hospitality, for your patience, for your courtesy, and we do look forward to a very, very strong bond between India and the UAE, which already exists, but we want to strengthen it, the next generation. And so at the session tomorrow, we will be maybe in a one-to-one session and even showcasing Punjab as an investment destination. Thank you very much, and God bless you.